Hello everyone, welcome back to the Human Reviews channel. Today, we got a new motherfucking Paul McCartney album, The Boys of Dungeon Lane. Based on what I know about this album, it seems like a bit of a swan song for Paul McCartney, based on the single that I listened to and uploaded a video on, if you want to see my first reaction to that song. It seems like a bit of a trip down memory lane, a bit of Paul McCartney, I don't know, at his old age of, what, like 86, 85, 86? Kind of, I don't know, taking a trip down memory lane and creating an album that serves as not necessarily the final piece of music he's ever going to create, but I don't know, it does seem like something that could serve as a piece of finality to his career, and that is very interesting to me going into this. An artist that has always been so full of life, an artist that has always been so energetic and creative and diverse, making an album that feels like it has a sense of finality to it is always going to be interesting to me. And that's why out of all of the, I guess, newer solo albums of his that I've listened to, from Chaos and Creation onward, I'd say, this is the one I'm the most interested in. Absolutely. This is not a swan song. I'm confusing the artist. Can we get a fucking permaban on this guy, please? Anyway, this album came out literally today. It is 14 tracks, 47 minutes. There's been a little bit of some mixed reception on this album. People mostly enjoy it. It's got a 75 on Album of the Year here. People are enjoying this album, but I've seen some complaints about the production, so I'm interested to see if those complaints line up with me going into this. But yeah, let's do this. Track 1, As You Lie There. Bro's older than Rivers Cuomo by about 30 years, yeah.
I used to walk past your house every night. I'd look up at your window.
Absolutely, it's nice to see him still making music and being as bold with his music as he is at 80, you know?
One time I can't forget the feeling that came over me.
Andrew Watt produced this. Huh. Oh. Got a wing sound, yeah. I was not expecting this album to go as heavy as that. That was a legitimately pretty incredible explosive section. Guitar tones were great. Paul McCartney bringing a shouty performance. He's able to still bring that tensity in his 80s. I'm impressed. Nice that he's working in some spoken word here too. His rapping better than the new Drake. Already better than Helter Skelter, exactly. I like how theatric and campy this is, you know? Same producer as Cowboy Carter, yeah. I'm surprised by how good his shouty performances still are. It's like, obviously not quite on the same level he was at in his 20s, but like, it's not far off, you know? Yeah, his voice is one of the strongest aspects of this for me. Ends a bit abruptly, but like a shockingly heavy, theatric, energetic opener to this album. Paul McCartney bringing the same energy he was bringing on some of like the heavier Beatles tracks 60 fucking years ago. Color me impressed. I'm feeling a solid to high 8 on that. I was actually like, I wasn't expecting anything like that on this album, especially considering I remember the single being pretty restrained and pretty low-key. That was such a great moment of, like, the youthful Paul McCartney coming back out and him making something that is legitimately bombastic, aggressive, and powerful. That was really fucking good. Oh my god. Wow. That was a shock. Next track, Lost Horizon.
The pairing of a car engine waiting at the was the start of the first day of forever. Day breaks along the lost horizon. That sound can shake me up. That sound of forever.
Who's doing these backing vocals? Is it all Paul McCartney? Those backing vocals sound like someone else. It is all Paul, okay. This album's strongest point is its heart. Absolutely. This is it's very sincere. It's very sincere. It's a delightful track. Even though I didn't love this song, I think that it's very rudimentary. It's incredibly basic, but it has a lot of charm. It has a lot of heart. I'm feeling like a low 7 on this one. Yeah, Paul is playing the majority of instruments here. It says acoustic guitar, bass, drums, electric guitar. All of the instruments here are Paul on this one. Again, in his early mid-80s, playing all the instruments on a track like this that, while sure isn't the most technically proficient, it's still heavy and still has a lot of very forward energy. Fair enough, honestly. Man just loves to make music. Exactly. That's exactly what this feels like. It feels like Paul McCartney still 64 years since the first Beatles album came out or something like that, 63, 64 years, still loving the music making process, and that passion still coming through in spades. Again, not the type of thing that I personally would come back to, but I can't help but sit here and respect this and think it's a delightful listen regardless. Days We Left Behind, this was the single, wasn't it?
Comes to mind.
All the instruments are Paul again here, apparently.
Stays the same.
Works better like this than as a single, I agree.
We met at Fortland Road.
Yeah.
And wrote a secret code.
Album doesn't include Temporary Secretary 2, 0. True. When's Permanent Secretary?
Since that day, I knew
Crazy.
you'd stay
Crazy.
with me.
Who the fuck is Ernest? Oh. Yeah, this works a lot better in context of the album, in my opinion. This is a delightful piece to follow the previous two. Oh, fucking hell, the chat just flew by, Jesus Christ. In 60 years, I will make an album called The Boys of Swindon Lane. Feeling a low 8 on this one. Yeah, this track kind of highlights something that I really like about Paul McCartney, or that I feel is very unique to Paul McCartney. When a lot of, like, legacy acts get older and they make music that's a reflection on the past, it's typically... Oh, did we get taken down? "19-year-old gets destroyed by a 95-year-old man." Paul McCartney album reaction. Yes. As I was saying, low 8 on that piece. The thing that I like about Paul McCartney that feels unique to him is that when a lot of legacy acts get up there in age and they make music that's kind of a reflection backwards, it's always very dour, it's very dismal, or it will specifically be a reflection on death and will be incredibly dark. Here, Paul McCartney feels like he loves the fact that he has a legacy. He loves the fact that he has come as far as he has. There is such a sense of delight in the fact that he has as many memories as he has, that he has such a storied history as he has. And it's so optimistic. It's so optimistic. I love this shit, man. Like, this track, especially coming after the previous two, like the first song being as explosive as it was, the track after that being like a steady, dirty southern rock track, to get one here that's just him waxing poetic about being up there in age, looking back on his legacy, and feeling proud is legitimately so lovely. Up next, we have Ripples in a Pond.
Sometimes I get the feeling you're so good for me. I must be blessed.
Not too late to end the stream with Long Long Road.
I love you more than I ever did before. The feeling grows and grows.
Auto-tune actually isn't terrible, I know. Isn't Egypt Station auto-tune better than the new Strokes? That's not exactly difficult. No, he shouldn't. Never let Paul McCartney touch AI. Never let anyone touch AI.
Sometimes I get a feeling you're so good for me. I must be blessed.
A delightful little love track. A genuinely lovely little love track. 7.8. High 7. Good shit. It's Paul McCartney. Again, just creating such an immediately likable track about how his love for his significant other, even to this day, still grows stronger and stronger and stronger by the day. I do agree it's a little bit of an abrupt ending. I feel like this track is a little brief. It could have been maybe expanded by 30 seconds to a minute to give itself a little bit more meat on the bone for sure. But honestly, as is, I think it's a very sweet track. I don't really have any big complaints about it besides just feeling like it could have used a little bit more to flesh itself out a bit more. Mountaintop. Next song you think is about John or George? Okay.
Anytime I walk with you, magic mushrooms peeping through. You and me, everywhere we go. Ooh. Little girl, you're tripping. Everybody's flipping out. Need to get a grip on surprise. Round our heads.
And that harpsichord is lovely. I appreciate the tasteful use of effects as well. Like the phaser really works here.
Or do you wanna stay?
Holy shit. I'm honestly feeling another like low 8 on this one. I'm shocked by how much I'm liking this, man. This album has been really sweet so far. It's been like some of the most creative work I've heard from like recent Paul McCartney. Some of the most honest and likable work I've heard from him too. Like this is just a beautiful track about friendship, and then it seems like it actually goes into a fucking mushroom trip at the end there. And it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel like a goofy gimmick, it feels actually quite endearing. I'm super impressed. This album's really good so far. Fuck it, like it's not like the most complex thing on the planet. It's quite simple, but I don't know. Paul McCartney's writing, his very likable performances, him tapping back into some of his like more youthful energy here, and creating tracks that are just so honest and down to earth, and it feels like him getting as real as he can. It's making for quite the endearing project. I'm hoping it can keep it up the entire way throughout. Next up, we have Down South. Was this the other single? I didn't listen to the other single. No, the other one was Home to Us.
Where you heading, boys? You need a ride. We said we're heading down south. It was a good way to get to know you as we were making our way down south. We talked about guitars and rock and roll. They were the subjects that would never grow old. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Before we learned to twist and shout, it was a good way to get to know you as we were bumming around down south.
That was fucking lovely. Wow. A track that actually very effectively tugs at the heartstrings. High 8. A cut and dry 2.5 minute acoustic piece about him just reminiscing with one of his friends. Well, reminiscing about one of his friends. That was like the most striking moment on the entire album up to this point. Like, I'm kind of left a little bit speechless. I really, really fucking adored that song. It's very moving, especially since it's about someone he's had such like a complex past with, you know. Seems to be about George Harrison. There's something so beautiful about, like, despite obviously how the Beatles ended and there being such tensions and, you know, the members of the band all very much did not like each other. Like, the fact that now 56 years down the line from that, like, Paul McCartney is able to just make a song about how much he loved the days before the Beatles when they first got to know each other. Or maybe it's during the early days of the Beatles, based on he's talking about like going down south. I'm going to guess it's like early days of the Beatles or something like that. That shit's lovely, man. Absolutely lovely. They did have a reunion. Yeah. They did kind of make up after that. And it's a song like that that just makes that feel all the more beautiful, you know? All the more optimistic. They call it hopecore, I believe. And next we have We Too.
1, 2, 3. I want to live for love. So many people do to you.
Yeah. It's really sweet.
Last night I dreamed of you.
The snare's fine. He's doing the you know, blankets on the drums, or the bits of cloth on the drums or whatever. You know, he's doing the Ringo drum recording shit. It sounds fine. Paul McCartney, the definition of hopecore, honestly.
We're standing side by side. We two.
The fuck is this, man? Do I think Paul and John explored each other's bodies? Yes. Okay. This for me is the weakest so far. I'm feeling a high 6 on this one. I don't know. I think it's still charming enough, but I don't know. This track felt like it didn't really provide any of the either moving lyricism or interesting instrumentals that we've been provided up to this point. This track felt very straightforward and felt like it didn't really have anything to add to that very straightforward foundation that it set. It kind of just felt like a decent enough piece of acoustic rock music with a solid performance from Paul McCartney and an interesting tag at the end, I guess. But I don't know, that track felt like the first one that didn't really stick out to me as having any particular draw to it. It's still fine. It's still in the green, absolutely. It's a far cry from a bad song. But when we've had tracks on this album, you know, especially like the one that just preceded it, Down South, having a song like that doesn't really feel like it has much to say leaves me with not much to say. Come Inside up next. Speaking of... This one definitely about John. Ford F-150 ad, yeah. More of a low-end album? Yeah, definitely. It's got so much attitude, man. Like, this is just Paul McCartney having some fun, being cheeky. It's so likable. Like, again, this isn't like best album of the year material or anything like that. It's just so fun, though. You definitely know what he was doing calling it that, yeah. It's so fucking goofy. It's so self-aware. It's genuinely just Paul McCartney having a fun time. There is a very earnest looking back on this album. It feels like Paul McCartney acknowledging a lot of serious things and letting himself be an emotionally open book, but he's having so much fun doing so. All of the little details in this track, like the descending piano thing, the little goofy inflections that he does on certain lines, the fact that he's sitting up in his higher registry and letting this track be this big theatric 80s sounding rock excursion. Like, it's so cheesy, but intentionally so, and it makes it so fucking lovable. I'm feeling a solid 8 on this. I legitimately did not expect to like this album as much as I am, man. I went into this expecting to think it was decent, but, you know, very mixed, like a lot of his more recent stuff that I've heard. This is, like, legitimately really great so far. Genuinely. Never Know up next. League's better than McCartney 3. I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you there. McCartney 3 is mid.
I want to feel your touch, the things that you do.
Pulls over the Beach Boys sneaking in. Took 4 years to make. Oh shit, yeah. Co-produced with Andrew Watt in sessions dating back to 2021. Fucking hell. Yeah, Andrew Watt is an interesting choice for a producer on this. Everything just oozes joy, yeah. Pokemon Route 1 ass flute. It's not a flute, it's a recorder. Like, it's so fucking silly, man. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that in only the best way. Like, a track like this. This isn't a song I could see myself coming back to necessarily, but listening to it, the joy, the joviality, the tongue-in-cheek silliness is so fucking infectious. It's so infectious, man. I'm sitting here having a great time because Paul McCartney is having a great time making this. He's working in shit like Mellotron and Recorder, just getting as creative as he can, working in different layers of instrumentation into this thing. It feels like him just catching like a second wind and having a soup of ideas, and all of them, at least in some capacity, work. This song for me is like a solid 7. I think it's good, not the type of thing I'd come back to. But that doesn't change the fact that I think that the experience of this album is stronger than the sum of its parts so far. Like, would I come back to every song on this? No. But do I think the album exceeds what the individual tracks provide because of how much of a sense of carefree, goofy fun there is? Absolutely. Like, this is some excellent shit right here. Like, I have no complaints. Home to Us with Ringo.
His inner yard began to wilt and then he turned to dust. The world around us wasn't safe, the place was falling down.
Absolutely, yeah. It feels like a Beatles track. How old's Ringo? He's a little older. He's like 86, 87. Oh, 85. I thought he had 3 years on Paul. Oh, wait, no, he does. It's just his birthday's in July. That was cute as fuck. Flat 8, honestly. I think that having Ringo on this track really gave it like the charm it needed for it to get up into great territory for me. I think that Ringo's presence on this track really does elevate it. You can really tell the difference between Ringo and Paul's drumming. Paul's drumming throughout this album, I've not like made a mention of it. It's been a little rigid. You can tell that Paul McCartney is not primarily a drummer. It's certainly not been the most fluid. And then Ringo comes in and adds a little bit of swing, adds some more interesting fills. And even just his vocal presence as well, the way him and Paul McCartney play off of each other here is really sweet. Genuinely. Yeah, it feels like there's just such a sense of warmth and welcomeness here. This track feels just so at ease and at peace. Like, I don't know, Jigsaw's falling into like the right place. They should make a band. I know. We have a $1 million idea on our hands here. Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney in a band together. Life can be hard. Radiohead reference. Yeah.
But that's when we start to put it together again. And if I play, she'll dance, watching us sway.
What's this beard growing is what it is. Leave me alone, damn it. Is Ringo a 10 out of 10 drummer yet? Don't make me do the Ringo rant. This is a nice album. We're not doing the Ringo rant. My boyfriend's got me on some skincare shit to stimulate hair growth in the places where it doesn't typically grow. I will grow a full beard soon. How old am I? I'm 19, so I feel like this isn't bad for 19, you know?
She loves me, even when life presses harder.
I have. John Lennon could grow a glorious beard. As could all the Beatles. All 4 of them had good beards.
Each time we meet, there's a look of surprise. She sprinkles love everywhere.
Because they were real men, yeah. It's because everyone just looked older back then, man. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, they all look great with their beards. Sam gets more personal near the end, which means we also get a lot more big band influence. Yeah, I think this track's pretty cute. High 7 on this one. I don't know, the arrangement on this song is quite lovely. I think that Paul McCartney's vocal performance goes down some interesting melodic routes. I like how much he's comfortable sitting in his higher registry throughout this track. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. I don't know, not a song I'd necessarily come back to on its own, but yeah, another just delightful piece of the puzzle here. I don't have any big complaints about anything being presented on this album, to be honest. This is such a lovely listen. First star of the night.
Raining in Costa Rica.
What did you just say? Raining in Costa Rica is what it
When
says.
it's raining inside, like the first star of the night, it's still alright.
I don't know, he's done a decent job with the heaviness on this album. The stripped back shit like this and Days We Left Behind has been fantastic as well, but I don't know, his heaviness or his approach to the heaviness on this album has been pretty great. I think Andrew Watt is actually a pretty good pairing with him. He's brought out like a lot of life in Paul McCartney on this album. Vocally it sounds better than McCartney 3. On every front it's better than McCartney 3, to be honest. Like, the album's not bad, but I just remember it being boring. Holy shit, I just checked that album. George Martin is one of the producers on that shit. How do I not remember that? Fucking George Martin. Oh, it's because of the 90s track on it? Oh, he's only credited for on the song. Yeah. That'll be why I didn't remember that. This is definitely a highlight. I agree. I'm feeling a low 8 on this one. Just a very delightful, stripped back little piece here. I don't know, that sees Paul McCartney again getting a little more introspective, a little more personal. It's a lot more low key. And I like that. I think that this track's approach to, I don't know, the simplicity, everything feeling as earnest and as raw as possible, while still maintaining that really strong, I don't know, sense of wonder. I'm just impressed by this album on the whole, man. I'm just so impressed. Yet another soft comforting track in a sea of warm track. Yeah. I know this album isn't getting tiring. Like this, it's a 14 track, 47-minute album. It's got a pretty decent runtime, but it's honestly flown by. Next one is about his dad, and the closer is about his mum. I see. Salesman Saint up next. Oh, nice bass sound.
Father
Wow.
was a salesman, Brent.
I love this super raw drum recording.
They couldn't take any more. With laughter and a song.
Great rhythmic switch. Wow.
Help the only entertainment. A piano and a radio. Another generation. They couldn't take any more. But they had to.
Another like low 8 from me. Wow. I love the commitment to the very raw recording here. Like the recording of the big band and the drums actually feeling like it's taken from a fucking like 40s album. Captured that sound in a way that's tasteful, authentic, and actually made it work in context of this song. A quite beautiful track that, I don't know, for someone as old as Paul McCartney to make a song this late into his career that's looking back on his father, there's something quite beautiful about that. And in looking back on his childhood throughout this album and back on just his history in general, it kind of has led him to a place where he ends the album talking about his parents. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. Best song of the album up next? We shall see. We're here. The final track.
Mama gets by while Papa gets high. She's working all day to bring in the pay. And if it rains, she never complains. Papa gets back and heads for the sack. As soon as he steps inside the kitchen door, she doesn't care. She's got her own philosophy of life. She loves him. She loves him with all her heart. Mama gets by.
I think the thing that makes that track the most impactful is the fact that talking about his mother actually brings him back to like sounding like a child. It sounds like an actual child describing their mother. You know, describing her as like the strongest person on the planet, the most loving person on the planet. And that hits. Seeing an 84-year-old Paul McCartney still have a childlike admiration of his mother is actually like the sweetest shit imaginable. 2 songs on this album that super effectively tug at the heartstrings. Solid to high 8 on that one. She died, I think, when he was like 6. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, I do remember that from watching Get Back. Was it Get Back? What was the name of the fucking million-part documentary that I watched like half of? The Anthology. Thank you, The Anthology. Anyway, that was The Boys of Dungeon Lane by Paul McCartney. Was a shockingly great album. A shockingly great album. This thing took me by surprise and proved to me that Paul McCartney at 83 can still put together a well-groomed, consistent, creative album that can actually effectively tug at the heartstrings. Did I think every single moment of this thing was perfect or anything like that? No. Do I think it's Paul McCartney's best work he's ever put out? No. But it's solid as hell, man. This album shows Paul McCartney having such a love for life, looking back on his life with varying emotions, but for the most part, seeing him be proud of the legacy he's left behind, seeing him take a nostalgic trip down memory lane that feels more so like him being appreciative of how far he's come, you know, more than a lot of other artists when they get this old and they kind of take very depressing views on death and stuff like that. Seeing Paul McCartney being like a beacon of light at his age is lovely. Genuinely. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, multiple great tracks on this, man. I think that Down South is a absolutely insanely massive highlight on this. Momma Gets By is a beautiful closer. As You Lie There was such a striking opener. Like, this album has multiple incredibly memorable moments that I'm gonna come back to, and I could honestly maybe even see growing on me by the time we reach like end of year season and I'm talking about favorite songs and shit like that. I love this. I'm feeling like a flat 8 on this album, which is a much higher score than I was expecting to give this. I was expecting this album to be in like the 6 range. I thought it was going to be like mixed positive, handful of good tracks, but a lot of stuff that just wasn't for me. But no, Paul McCartney made a great ass album. Good shit. Very, very good shit. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how it compares to other Paul McCartney albums for you. You can check out my reactions to all the Beatles albums and all of the Beatles solo albums in playlists over here. Definitely check those out if you haven't. Like and sub if you haven't as well. We are on our way to 5K. Links in the description to my Discord, my album of the year, my Twitter, my other channels, my Instagram. Check those out if you haven't. And I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye-bye.